The shadows are growing restless.
Let them come.
At the edge of a towering cliff by the sea, the hunter stood alone. His face hidden beneath his hood, but his eyes, sharp, weary, heavy with years of pain, stared out toward the ocean. He had come here for a reason. Before dying, his old mentor had told him a prophecy. When two souls finally meet, only then will the reign of shadows end. The hunter didn't know if the prophecy was true, but every day of his life, every battle he'd fought, had led him toward this single moment. Suddenly, he heard footsteps behind him. He instantly gripped the hilt of his sword, but when he turned, a woman stood there. Her hair was pure white, as if moonlight itself had settled upon her. Her eyes glowed with a strange light. Not human, something else entirely. "You were looking for me?" she said softly. "I am Lyra, and I know exactly who you are, Hunter." The hunter was stunned. No one had ever spoken his title with such respect. Most people looked at him only with fear. "How do you know my name?" he asked, not lowering his guard. Lyra looked out at the sea. "Because I too, like you, am part of a prophecy. Our fates were written centuries ago. We were always meant to meet here, in this moment, in this place." As they spoke, the sky suddenly turned black. The ocean began moving strangely. From the mist rose shadowy figures. Tall, thin, terrifying shapes that looked human but held no life within them. "They're here," Lyra said, fear creeping into her voice. "Shadow wraiths. They're hunting me." The hunter drew his blade, an ancient sword glowing faintly blue. "No one will touch you, not while I'm alive." The first wraith lunged at them. The hunter sliced it clean in two with his sword, but it instantly reformed, reshaping itself from black smoke. "Ordinary weapons can't kill them," Lyra shouted. "Only light magic can destroy them, and my light hasn't awakened yet." The hunter placed himself in front of Lyra like a wall. The wraiths began closing in from every side. He fought alone, taking every blow onto his own body, just to keep Lyra safe. "Why are you doing this?" Lyra cried out as a wraith slashed a wound into the hunter's shoulder. "You don't even know me," the hunter answered through gritted teeth. "Because for centuries, I only knew how to fight alone. But today, for the first time, I feel like I finally have a reason to fight." These words struck deep into Lyra's heart. Tears began falling from her eyes. But these weren't tears of pain. They were tears of light. Suddenly, a blinding white light burst from her body, so powerful it illuminated the entire cliffside. Her ancient power, dormant for centuries, had finally awakened. "Hunter, get back!" she shouted. She raised her hands, and a wave of light tore across the sky. The wraiths screamed and vanished, unable to withstand the light against the darkness. When the last wraith disappeared, silence fell. Only the sound of the waves and their heavy breathing remained. The hunter collapsed to the ground, blood pouring from his wounds. Lyra rushed to his side instantly, placing her hands over his injuries. The same light she had used to destroy the wraiths now began healing his wounds. "You risked your life for me?" Lyra said gently, tears still in her eyes. "Why?" The hunter looked up at her, managing a faint smile. "Because for centuries, I only fought against shadows. But you're the first light I've ever seen." That night, atop the cliff, two lonely souls, each fighting their own battle alone for centuries, finally found each other. The prophecy had come true, but its meaning turned out to be far more beautiful than anyone had ever imagined. In the days that followed, the hunter and Lyra began clearing shadow creatures from across the land together. Where the hunter's blade alone wasn't enough, Lyra's light finished the job for good. And where Lyra grew vulnerable alone, the hunter's sword stood as her shield. People began calling them by different names. Some called them guardians of light and shadow, others two souls, one fate. But to them it was simple. They were no longer alone. One evening, as they returned from saving a village, Lyra asked the hunter, "Do you ever regret it? All those years fighting alone?" The hunter looked up at the stars scattered across the sky. "No, because if I hadn't been alone, I might never have found you." Sometimes, darkness only comes to us so we can truly understand the value of light. Lyra took his hand, and together they walked in silence, side by side, through a world that was no longer as dark as it once was. This story was never just about a hunter. It proves that even the loneliest souls eventually find their companion. They simply have to wait for the right time and the right place. And once they find each other, no darkness can ever tear them apart. If you enjoyed this story, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. If you were the hunter, what would you have said to Lyra first?